What's up, guys? It's Eric here. Today, we're reviewing a VOD from Rank 1 North America, and I think Rank 1 Global as well, Dish Soap. I was just watching this game on my other monitor while I was doing some work, and I was just absolutely blown away by Dish Soap's decision making in this game. And I haven't done a ton of VOD reviews this set so far, and I got this same feeling watching this VOD that I got in the past when I watched insane games from Shunga or Hwanmei or other insane TFT players. Just when you watch someone play the way that Dish Soap played in this game, you sort of realize you just not even sort of you completely realize how bad you are at TFT just watching this level of gameplay. And it made me realize that I need to do a lot more VOD reviews, so we're starting here with this one from Dish Soap. He is taking the Vlad legend because he's actually doing a legend randomizer challenge, so he's just trying a bunch of different legends. So pretty Giga Chad from him. So he has the option of Transfusion, Piltover Soul, and Lucky Gloves. He could take Piltover Soul here and play for Piltover, but then you'd have to play Zeri, and that's not very good. It's actually like it's actually hilarious here. He's like talking about Piltover Soul, and then he's like, "Oh no, I misclicked. I misclicked. I took transfusion." But I mean, I think absolutely the correct decision there. Piltover is, I would not take an augment that gives me Piltover because then I'm playing down a prismatic, and all I get in return is that I have to play Piltover. So he plays his strongest board here, which is brawlers. No, they're called bruisers this um, Bruisers plus this Jin 2, which is, completely serviceable board, but he immediately hits Ionia in the next shop, so you already know we are pivoting to Ionia. His item opener is a little bit awkward for this unit opener, right? He's got Tier plus Rod plus Chain Vest. These items definitely want you to angle towards an Azir angle. You have Rod, which is like potentially Gunblade, Tier, which is potentially like Static Shiv. Um, but he decides to just slam Protectors of Vow here, which I love. This is going to save him some HP in the early game. He's not going too far, saying, okay, like I need Turbo Bis on every single unit. I'm just going to make Protector's Vow, which is just a very solid early frontline item. And now he has the opportunity potentially to slam Gunblade or slam Guinsoo, and then he can flex into anything that he wants. Gunblade you can play in any comp in the entire game. Really good in Azir, especially with Transfusion. But it's like completely playable if you want to put it on a Kaisa. Even like Yasuo, it's not the worst on, but not great. And like, look, this Protector's Vow, like, might have just swung this entire fight. Like, does he win this fight without Protector's Vow? If he does, it's much closer. The Samir's gonna get the Jin down to like 30% HP. So yeah, we have Carousel here. Let's see. Like I said, I watched this game on my second monitor, so I don't even recall all the decisions. I'd probably just take Wins over the slam here. He takes another rod on Chase. Whoa. Oh, he takes it for Piltover. Man, just some of the decisions that I saw, like on my while on my second monitor blew me away, but like this stuff, wow. Gets Piltover in, gets the Swain in as well, so he can play strongest board Piltover. And so he's gonna play Piltover in the early game. There's no shot he's actually gonna play Piltover late game, and I slightly know that because I spoiled myself on the game, but also because like, let's be real. He's just gonna play Piltover for a few rounds because his board's not insanely strong. And then he's gonna cash out and get some extra items, get some extra gold, whatever you get from Piltover. So yeah, pretty cool. Not something you see a ton of people doing. This patch is just playing around this. So this is actually awkward, right? Would you if it okay, no, he's gonna sell because he has a lot of really strong units for the Ionia board here. He's got the set, the Warwick. Like I would be pretty tempted to just pivot back into the Ionia board. He's actually just gonna full open with Piltover, but then he fights this person who's also full open. Oh no. Oh, okay. So then he loses his Piltover cash out here. Rest in peace. Gets wrecked by Brandini. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's not like he sacked infinite HP to get here, but he is win loss win loss win. Which me personally, when I see myself in this position, I'm like, oh my god, it's already a bot four, man. This game blows. Like no streak going into Krugs means we're not generating extra income during Krugs from the streak. Like the difference between someone who's on a 5 streak here and you being on a 0 streak is really bad. Gonna get a bunch of gold from Krugs here. Matt immediately sells the yeah, I mean I would just ooh. Okay, okay. Oh, well, yeah, yeah. Like, surely you must make 40 here. But he wants to actually hold on to the Teemo. Oh, and we're also in, I think this is called the Summit. So he gets a 3 cost duplicator here, and then later on he's going to get 5 cost duplicators. Really, really interesting portal because, like, it allows a lot more like 3 starring of 4 costs or 3 starring of 3 costs and then like potential 3 starring of 4 costs if you're uncontested. But yeah, you see like his items, he's got to make something. So he makes the Archangels on Jin, not BIS Jin for sure, but just builds the item. And you see now he's like holding Malzahar, he's holding Cho'Gath, just trying to potentially find some off road to get to an AP item holder because you really don't have your Archangel stuck on Jin. Rerolls these two immediately into just completely untakeable stuff, so we will just take Battle Ready, which is very solid. But yeah, look at this. Second he finds a Vel'Koz, he's going to play Vel'Koz. He can level for Teemo, which works really well. Yeah, he considered Malice for a second, but yeah, it's always Teemo, right? Yeah, he's got... I mean, I don't know. Force Sork is actually really big. What did he get there from cashing out his thing? Was that like a little bit of gold or something? I didn't even see. It's 4 stacks. Tells it. It's 2 gold, I think, and maybe a unit. Okay, but he has taken his Piltover cash out because he wants to actually play the Force Orc board. Playing 3 Piltover on this board would just make him way, way weaker. So he played Piltover for a few rounds and got some extra gold out of it. So pretty cool. Not something you see a ton of people doing. And I mean, I think it worked for him here for sure. It's not like it, it's he got an insane underground cash out and got a radiant item or something. Like definitely peace cash out. Um, so yeah, he's got Teemo pair here and Talia pair, and so he decides to use the duplicator on Teemo. I like this. Yeah. Just gonna make your board a bit stronger, and if you're angling for this Azir setup, which he very likely is, then like you're going to need the Teemo too anyway. But you see, like, he's lost a lot. He's playing a lost streak opener this game, but he's still 65 HP. Um, relatively healthy. Like in my games where you saw me like full open, like the one I posted earlier, I was down to like 40s, sometimes 30s in situations like this. I think the one I posted was like a high roll. Um, yeah. Okay. So yeah, carousel here, glove and sword both available on Shurima units. He's gonna opt to take the sword because that's Gunblade. Gunblade synergizes insanely well with the Azir comp and insanely well with the Archangels that we already have, and it's on a Jarvan. So yeah, this is really a no-brainer. Um, so he's going to chill a little while for here. Dish Swap is not someone I see 3-5ing it very frequently. I think maybe you have to be really, really rich in his opinion to 3-5 it. So he's going to wait a couple of rounds. It also, like, he's scouting around, and the Azir comp doesn't look insanely contested. I think, like, this person looks like they could definitely angle Azir, and I think there was one other person who could angle Azir, but it's not like 5-way contested or anything. So it's not like he has to roll to 0 here. So he can sack 2 more. And if he loses the next one, then he's 5 lost, which would be nice. It's just because he'll be a little bit dead. Um, but that's all right. But yeah, opts not to make the swing to here so that he can move Protector's Vow over because he knows he's gonna be rolling on 7 very soon. So he knows that it's very, very likely that he hits potentially a Jarvan 2 here. He holds the Gwen, which is really, really cool. To see another potential out. And I think, I mean, we're gonna look at the 4-1 roll down, and just to prep you guys for this 4-1 roll down, this is sort of what immediately made me say, okay, I need to VOD review this game. I need to show you guys this game because like this 4-1 roll down is one of the things that just showed to me that I am just like bad at TFT right now, and that I'm not playing my best TFT. Um, rolls a tad bit at 3-7 so that he can start pivoting his board a little bit. And he still gets to make 40 gold, so it's all good. But yeah, he's like pre-pivoting a little bit, which is really nice when you want to do a pivot like this, and when you're going to play good TFT and do a flexible pivot. So yeah, let's just watch the roll down. He finds Jarvan 2. He's picking up Yasuo's as well for the potential. Like imagine you hit Kaisa 2 here. There's like the potential Yasuo Kaisa angle. Uh, Immediately hits Gwen 2, and he's already hit the Jarvan 2. And so all right, we are off to the races. This is our board. We're going to make Ionic Spark, Guard Breaker, which are both really, really solid items. And now this is his 4-1 board. And he's still got 10 gold left. And he's still holding a Nasus on his bench. Um, just beautiful, man. Just beautiful to play these items on Gwen. She holds them insanely well. Augment here. I don't recall what he takes here. I would reroll both of these. Oh, actually, I do remember what he takes here. He's stuck between Ascension and Strategist Soul, and I think he stats it and says Strategist Soul might be better. Also, just vertical strategist, very, very good. I would probably lean strategist soul here just because I'm not actually that confident. I mean, I guess Gwen's fine with Ascension. Um, I don't know. I feel like a lot of her damage is kind of front loaded. She's gonna like walk up and start snipping immediately, and like if you can't get a couple kills at the start of the fight, it might be a little bit difficult. So yeah, but I don't know. She's Gunblade Archangel, so maybe you could make the argument for Ascension. He opts to take Strategist Soul here though. But yeah, just look at his board. He's 30 HP, but he's stabilized perfectly, and now he's making 20 gold. In my games, I often end up in a situation where like you find two Azirs or something, but then I'm stuck during the rest of stage 4, just sort of like donkey rolling to 0 because I'm like, oh well, I need to find Azir 2 or I'm just losing the game. But he doesn't find Azir 2, he doesn't find Lux 2, he finds a Gwen 2. He also had the opportunity of potentially finding Kai'Sa 2 and playing around that. And now we can just play this Gwen. She's a threat. She has no synergies in, but she's a perfect item holder for this Azir. And she's not a unit that a lot of people pick up, right? Like so few people are even, glancing at this Gwen unit. Maybe someone high rolls a Gwen early with a Callista and they're like, oh, we'll play Vertical Shadow Owls or something. But like barely any people are playing around this Gwen unit. So it's so easy for you to potentially find a Gwen 2 and pop off. I think it takes, yeah, 5 cost. 5 cost with chain here looks pretty good. We don't have all of our frontline items finished, and we have a chalice on backline. So, I always like to balance frontline and backline. We have 4 completed backline items and 1 completed, and 2 completed frontline items. This is really interesting as well, right? He knows he's going to get a 5 cost duplicator at the beginning of the next stage. So do you hold on to the Scion pair here? He opts to actually not hold Scion pair here because he wants his level 8 to be 5 strategist because of just how much strength is in 5 strategist. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Just having like a naked Scion on your board, I don't think is going to win you every single fight, compared to potentially playing around just like 5 strategists instead. So yeah, I actually like this decision a lot. So yeah, because like his final board, he is still of course going to want to angle towards Azir in an ideal world. Like if you can hit Azir 2, it's very good. So his like ideal board is just get the Azir in, get the Nasus in, and then you're playing 5 strategist Azir, and it's very good. So if he can hit that board, then what are you doing with the Scion? Well, nothing really. So yeah, I really like the decision making, but also even the foresight to say, oh, like I'm gonna get the duplicator from the galaxy, so you have to do sort of like the extra calculation in your head of like, okay, I'm gonna get that duplicator, so that means I basically have the opportunity to take Scion 2 here. But yeah, so like I don't know, this is so cool, man. He's win streak the entirety of stage 4. But he didn't see a single Azir in his roll down, and he saw 1 Lux. I think this is a game where I would probably have bled out during stage 4. He's gonna go 8 here. His board spikes incredibly hard just by adding an Azir if he can hit one. But he also stays flexible in roll down. He finds a Senna, and Senna is an amazing addition to this board. So he's gonna make the Senna, and he's going to make Gunblade, which as many Gunblades as you can get in this comp are very good. And then Edge of Night, which is not the best slam, but is completely fine and just sort of like had to be what he made in this situation. It's not like we're gonna make like Locket. It's not like we're gonna make Death Blades. So yeah. Um he gets another Lux, gets a Gwen here, and now he decides, oh, and he was probably gonna roll down to 10 there, but now that he sees that he has a Azir pair and a Lux pair, he's just gonna roll it down every single round. He has this 5 cost duplicator, so he is going to just roll it to 0 every round, and the second he finds a 0 Lux, he's going to duplicate the other one, and then that's going to be his board. So he actually doesn't find anything here. He even open sells. I've heard about Unity open sold there. The Senna, which probably made his board slightly weaker, but he just wanted to have the opportunity to potentially high roll, hit a 0-2, hit Lux 2, and actually get to his board. Because right now he's got this Nasus 2 stuck on bench, which also like really heads up play. He just leaves the Nasus 2 on bench until now because it's not stronger than anything. What are you replacing and putting Nasus 2 in for, especially when you don't have a Zero 2? So he decides to hit Lux. He hits the Lux, moves the Guardbreaker over to her, and then puts Gunblade plus Archangels onto the Azir. And now he's on his board. His Azir has no attack speed item, so it feels a little bit bad though. Edge of Night is pseudo attack speed. He decides to hold this remover here, leave the Chalice on Lux, which feels really good. And now he can take a final item for Azir off carousel. So boom, there is Giant Slayer at last item Azir, and he can remover this Edge of Night and put it on someone else, and then he is really good in slot Azir. So he's actually finally got to a really standard comp, right? Everyone has seen this board. Everyone who plays around Shurima has played this board before. Normally it's 4 strategists because you don't have strategist plus 1. But if you looked at his augments and you looked at his board, you would think he played a very, very simple Shrima game this game. You would say like, oh, okay, well, like, this Dishok guy just played Shrima, it's all good. Um, but the way that he got to this board, itemizing and playing around the Gwen 2 carry, getting the Senna in when it was stronger, considering the Scion, I just think that was absolutely beautiful TFT play. Even playing like the piltover in the early game, just taking a really, really cool, interesting opener to get here. Ended up slamming Archangels on Jin to save a little bit of HP, slamming the Protector's Vow early. I don't know. I just think this is a beautifully played game of TFT, and I mean, we're going to see more of it in the late game. At this point, it's mostly coming down to positioning swaps here. Beautiful positioning on the Jarvan. He's allowed to get into the middle there and get a big ult off, and his entire team is away from the Ahri. Also, just having Jarvan not on the same side as Ahri means that he's not going to get mana reaved by the Ahri, which feels really, really good. So beautiful positioning there, and he's secured a top 4 position. The question is, how high of a placement can he play for? There's a Slayer player. There's is that no, that was just casted at 3. That wasn't Riftwalker, right? Like I thought for a second it was, but that is just a random cast in 3 with a bruiser spat. Kind of whoosh. He also put Edge of Night on Nasus, which is like kind of funny, but like it's actually not that bad. You think it's pretty bad, and like I don't know, it's definitely not BIS. Like he can, especially considering Reforgering in here. I don't recall. I didn't pay that close attention. I think yeah, I think it's fine to Reforger there. Like it's not great. Oh, I would just okay. He takes he already has Edge of Night. I don't know about Static Shiv here. I wonder if that was like fatigue on like not having enough time, or if he legitimately thought Static Shiv is best here. I'd probably have just taken Redemption. Though it's actually kind of awkward because yeah, you would want to TG Nasus, but then I would probably just Redemption my Swain. But I mean, Static Shiv is definitely not bad. I could see it. But yeah, I feel like something like Redemption's probably better. But yeah, but I mean, look at this point. He's winning every fight. All he has left to fight is this Slayer reroll board from Solus with double Zephyr, which is very, very tough. But I mean, all of his item slams were very good. He saved enough HP so that even if he took that one loss near the end of stage 5. But like if you played really like DGen TFT, you might just like take that loss and lose the game. But he played really, really flexible, really, really good TFT, so that allowed him to have enough HP so that now like he can afford to take a loss. He could even like lose this fight to Solus and he would be alive. But yeah, defeats Solus here down to 17 HP. He could level here if he wanted to. He's mostly just looking to make positioning swaps and really just maximizing his gold. So he's not worried about losing this fight. Even if he loses this fight, there's almost no way that he's gonna die. He's 22 HP. He'd have to get 10 0'd. Solus nails the Zephyr on the Lux, but doesn't hit the Azir. Ooh, the Heimer turret actually shreds, and oh my god, this fight went so differently than the last one. The Zed, I think, just chewed through the entire enemy team and didn't get CC'd by the Jarvan until like later into the fight. That's a big loss for him. There's actually Shurima spat here. I feel like that's usually what I go for, but yeah, he just wants to take away the third Zephyr here. Just because 5 Shurima feels good, but I mean Zephyr very, very strong. Oh, I forgot about this. I forgot about this. He finds Belveth pair in shop and he decides to remake the Nasus so he can move the TG to put it on Belveth too. Like what? Like who does that, man? But it's so good. It's actually like such a good addition. It doesn't manage to Zephyr the Zed, and the Zed actually gets onto backline and then just oh my god, just chews through his entire enemy team. So it is a second place from Dish Soap in this game, but I think just an absolutely beautifully played game of TFT just shows you the power of flex play. Just show like the decision making in this game, the Gwen carry on that weird sort of like half Shurima board just absolutely blew me away. I loved watching this game be played. So I hope you guys enjoyed the VOD review. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and check out my Twitch and all my other links down below. Thank you.